Hello, second grade friends, and welcome to Number Corner. For Number Corner today, we're going to be playing another round of Guess My Number. So we're going to be looking again at our number line. Let's have a look at the really long number line that we used for this game. Last time we counted on our number line, we went from 0 all the way up to 290. This time, we're going to go from 0 all the way up to 390. 390 is really close to 400. We're not going to get all the way to 400. So let's count on our number line from 0 to 390. First, I want you to think in your brains, what number are we counting by on our number line? If you said we're counting by tens, give yourself a little pat on the back. Great work. Now let's start at 0 and count by tens to 390. Count with me. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let me move our line. Starting at 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Let's move our line. Starting at 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300. Let's move our line. Starting at 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390. We're going to stop right there. We're not going to go all the way up to 400 today. Let me just put a big X through that so we know where to stop on our line. When we play Guess My Number today, I'm going to be giving you some clues. You're going to use these clues to think, what number is she hiding? Let's go ahead and look at some reminders that will help us with this game. Remember, we're using our greater than and less than symbols. We read our greater than symbol like this. 8 is greater than 6 because 8 is a bigger number than 6. Remember when we drew our little monsters with our sharp teeth and our big eye? That little monster always wants to eat the bigger number. That helps us to remember. When we read our less than symbol, we're reading that 5 is less than 6 because 5 is a smaller number than 6, and our monster always wants to eat the big number. We're going to use our symbols when we start to look at our clues. I'm hiding my number under this pink box. Here are all of my clues. My number is greater than 200. My number is less than 350. Let's start with those two clues. Let's go to our number line. Now my first clue was that my number was less than 200. So I'm going to go all the way down to 200. And I'm going to put a little arrow there to help me know that that's where I'm looking to know that my number is going to be greater than 200. Now let's look at that second clue. My number is less than 350. I'm going to travel all the way to 350, put another arrow there for my second clue. Now I know, well, you know, because I already know the number, but you know that my number is between 350 and 200. Do you think you could guess my number yet? No, you need a few more clues. Let's look at our next set of clues. My next set of clues says that my number is greater than 230. Let's go ahead and move our arrow. So I have my arrow on 200. Well, I know now with my new clue that my number is greater than 230. I also know that my number is less than 300. So let's look at where our other arrow was. Oh my goodness, this really narrows it down because now I know that my number is between 300 and 230. That's a much smaller amount of space than before. Do you think you could guess my number yet? Not quite yet. We have too many choices. We need a few more clues. My next clue says my number is greater than 240. Okay, if my number is greater than 240, I can erase this arrow and I can move it up right here to 240. Now let's have a look at our last clue. My number is less than 260. Let's erase this arrow and we're going to move it to 260. Do you have enough information to know my number? Yes, you do. If you guessed my number is 250, give yourself a little pat on the back. Good work. We used our clues and our greater than and less than symbols to figure out my number. Now it's your turn to do this on your own. So you'll have an activity in Seesaw that looks like this. And it's going to give you 4 clues to find my number. Remember, my number is a multiple of 10. That means it must end in a 0. If you guess that my number ends in a 5 or a 1 or a 3 or a 4, like 284, it will be incorrect because it must end in a 0. Good luck guessing my next number.